Hi guys, welcome back to day 4 of the Kids Coding Bootcamp. So today we are going to do shape art in Photoshop. So we are going to see how we are going to use shapes, all right, to build things like different designs, okay, and then maybe you get to understand different meanings, all right, that surround different shape. So what are shapes in designs? All right, so in graphic design, shape are two-dimensional areas made by lines, colors, textures, or boundaries. Shapes are everywhere in the design, from logos to icons to posters to characters, button, or even pattern. All right, and then there are different types of shape. But before we go to the types of shape, all right, in all our designs, okay, if you can go to online and just search different flyers or different logos, okay, you will see that there is always a shape, all right, in each flyer. Okay, there's always a shape in each flyer or in logos or in icons. If you look very well, you will see a shape there. Okay, so there are different types of shapes, and there are three main types, all right, of shapes that are used in design. The first one, we have the geometric shapes, and we say that these are clean, regular, and mathematical. Example, we have the circle, the square, the rectangle, the triangle, polygon line, different ones. Okay, and then they are commonly used in logos, in icons, buttons, or layout. Example right here, if you look at this Digital Dream ICT Academy right here, okay, this is the Digital Dreams logo. If you look at the D inside, you can find a rectangle shape inside the D. So do you see now? Now let's look at all those icons right here. Looking at the icons also, we can see different shapes in it, okay? Like the message that we can see here. If you look at this message icon here, you can see that it's a rectangle shape, okay? The same thing with this one right here, a circle shape. For the calendar, we can see a rectangle shape. So we see shapes, all right? We have seen shapes in logos, and we have seen shapes in icons. So let's move to the second type of shape. So the second type is known as organic shapes. And we say that these are irregular, all right, often found in nature. They are wavy, curvy, or natural looking in nature, like leaves, clouds, and water shapes. So let's look at it. So example here, we have this Indomie design right here, or the Spotify design right here also. Once we are looking at this Indomie design here, I think I can see three different shapes right here. Okay, two rectangle wavy lines, all right, with this red one here, rectangle shape here. But if you look at the Spotify logo right here or design, we can see a circle shape here and three wavy lines inside of it. Okay, so you see how shapes was used to make these two designs. All right, so let's move to the third one. So the third one is abstract or custom shapes. All right, and these are symbols of freedom shape created from combining basic shapes together. Okay, now let's look at it. It's used in creative designs, example, arrows or hearts or logos, Starbucks, etc. If you look at the Starbucks logo right here, okay, I think for me, if I'm looking at this shape, I can see a circle shape right here. I can still see a star. I can see an oval shape. For me, this was basically made with shapes. Okay, so now that we have looked at the different types of shape, and we have got to understand how shape works in the design, I don't want us to have a long talk. So why don't we head into our Photoshop and create this bed that we are seeing right here with different shape. Okay, so we're going to create a bed with different shape, and then we'll add a background to it and a text. So let's move on to Photoshop. Okay, so right now I'm in Photoshop. All right, so I need to start afresh. So this is what I have. Okay, once you open up your Photoshop, this is the first interface that you're going to see. So we'll first of all click on new file. Yours might be new file or create new, depending on the version or the year of the Photoshop that you are using. So mine is 2022, so it's new file. But I think from 2019 down should be create new. So I'll click on new file. All right, So you will still save photos, prints, art, and illustration, web, mobile, and film video. So the one I'm going to use is art and illustration. So I'll click on it and then I'm going to choose poster. So I don't really need to create my own document size. I just want to use the poster document size that Photoshop makes available here or made available here. So click on create. All right, so this is what we have. Okay, so first of all, we are going to create the shapes first. Then after creating the shape, before we now import our background. Okay, so this is going to be very easy. So the first thing I'm going to do, all right, is to create the head of my bed. So I'll click on the tool shape right here, get an ellipse tool, which is our circle shape. All right, I'll hold down the shift key. Why? Because I want a perfect circle. So I'll hold down the shift key like this. Okay, so you can see I have my fill color here, or you can still change it from the properties panel here. So either you change it from the property panel here, or you change it from up here. So let's use the up part. So I'll click on the fill color and then I'll click on this. So I want to use like an orange color per se. So I think I'll just come here and then just type. Okay, so I'll just use this color here. Then I will remove. If you look at mine has choke color. So I'm going to remove it because I don't want to, so that it can blend very well. So just like that, we have made the head. Okay, so I think the next thing I'm going to do is to make the body, all right, of the bed. So I will get the ellipse tool again. All right, this time around I'm going to draw a circle. I'm not going to hold down the shift key. Why? Because I don't really want a perfect circle. Okay, so I think I'll go with this. So I'm going to change the color of this. So click on the fill color here, click on this, and then okay, so I'm going to use this. I'll remove the stroke color. So this is what I have. Okay, so I'm going to rotate this a bit like this. I think I should just take your time and make it work. This is what I have. So I might still rotate it as I go. So now I'm going to change the head. I want it to be at the top. So I'll just move my layer panel up. So the ellipse one will now be on top. So I think we have this. So let's just like trust the process. Maybe I should reduce this a bit. Okay, so now we have a head and we have the body. So let's make the eye. So I'll get the ellipse, all right, and just draw a tiny circle. Hold down the shift key since we want a perfect circle. This time around, we are going to just use the black color for the eye. So I'll move this. Moving this is going to be hard. So what do? I kind of zoom in to the point that I can pick it up. So I carry it like this, and then I place it somewhere here. Mm. So here, remember, I might still adjust like everything when I'm done. Okay, so our bed is coming together little by little. So I think the next thing that I am going to do is to add like the wing first. So get ellipse tool, draw like an oval shape this time around, and then I'm going to change the color, the fill color. I'm going to give it like a blue color. Okay, so okay, remove the stroke, and then I'll place it. Once you're doing this, like you need to like arrange your work properly. And I'm feeling like I should shift the head a bit. Same with the eye. See? Our red is coming together. Okay, so this is what I have. This is what I have. So the next thing for me to do is to add the mouth. So for the mouth, I don't have a triangle right here. How is that possible? Okay, I think we just use like a polygon. But then if you have a triangle, I think we should use a triangle and achieve this. Or let me go to my custom shape and see what I have there, and if there is anything I can use to achieve this. Okay, I think I can use this shape to achieve it, but I need it to be like an orange color. Yeah, something like that. So I'll move it right here. Wait, I need to remove the okay, doesn't have any stroke color. So it's here. I'll move down the layer of the arrow down. I feel like it's too big. Guys, our bed is coming together. Okay, so the next thing for us to do is to add the legs. No. Wow, need another triangle. So how am I going to achieve? Okay, I think I should use a rectangle to achieve this. So this is what I'm going to do. Let me add the color. Let me change the color first. So fill, I'll use this color here. So I'm going to press Ctrl T. So I'll do Ctrl T. Okay, I'll right click. Let me try and use this dot and see what I have. I don't know how this is going to be, but I think we'll just have to kind of manage it. But triangle would have just been perfect for this. So let me bring down the rectangle down. I think it should be at the down part. This is not really giving what it's supposed to give. But I don't think we really have a choice right here. Let me go to custom and see if I can find anything that we can use for that part. Then what if we use the same arrow shape that we used for? Let's try it and see what it will give to us. Okay, let's try it. So I'm just going to like off this, bring this down here, rotate a bit. I could say not bad. I don't know what I could show that when I did this particular one right here. If you look at it very, see this, I did this with a triangle shape. I don't know why I can't find a triangle shape. So, oh, this is not bad. Yeah, this is not. So the next thing you're going to do is for us to do the legs. So for the legs, we are going to use a rectangle shape. So let's use a rectangle shape. Draw like a rectangle like this. Alright, so I'll click on this. Use the same color that I used for the mouth. Okay. So I'm going to bring the layer of this, bring it down. Bring it down like this. Alright. Let me take it inside a bit. So duplicate. How do we duplicate? Control J. You see, it's not saying rectangle copy too. So I know it have duplicated. So I'll just move this somewhere here. And then let's draw another rectangle. Just a small rectangle like this. Remove the stroke color. I'm going to zoom in so I do this very well. So I'll do Ctrl J again to duplicate it, and then I'll place it somewhere here. Yeah, so just like that, look at what we made. Okay, so like that, we made ourselves a bed. Maybe I should reduce this a little bit. So I'm arranging my work. So once you are done, like try and arrange your work and make sure like everything fits perfectly as it should. Okay. All right. So in order to be able to move all this together, I think what I'm going to do is to link the layers. Okay. So I'm going to like link the layers so that I'll be able to move it around however I want it. So I'm just going to hold my shift key, or you hold your control key, anyone you want, and then I'll just click up here, right click. All right, you see link layers, so I'll just click on it. So all the layers are linked. So what it means is that I can move this around however I want it. So I will reduce this a bit like this. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now is to import my background. Okay, so I'll click on file, place embedded, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. Okay, so those are the background I want to use, so I'll just click on it. It's important. So this is my background, right? So I'll just place it here and then stretch it a bit like this. Okay, so let's make it fit. Okay, so now you see it's covering our bed because it's at the top part in the layer panel. So we just need to move it down to the last, and you see our bed is now on top of it. So you see it's looking like a real bed in a garden as the vibe that it's giving. So now let's add our text. Okay, so we can even use this for like a front book cover. Just saying. So click on text. Okay, to add a text, and then I'm going to write build with shapes. I don't know, maybe because I have done those before, maybe that's why my fonts, okay, that's why my font, like, and the color of the font has changed. We'll notice that when you are doing this, right, the font is not going to be the same thing. So you need to change the font, right? If you look at my font here, you see the name of the font is All Pony, and then you change the color to the same green color that you used here. All right, so we just change the color to green and then the font to all pony. So I think I made a mistake on this. The shapes is supposed to be down, so I'll just double click. Let me accept this first. So I'll double click so I can enter editing mode. So I'll just re-enter. Okay. So this is what I have. So I'll duplicate the text, Control J. All right, bring it down a bit, and then I'm going to type like the subtext. So like I said, double click to enter editing mode. So I'll do discover how simple shapes can create stunning arts. Okay, so I'll accept this and then reduce the font size. Okay, it's too much, so I'm going to reduce it. Remember, it's not like our main text, so we are applying typographical hierarchy here. Okay, so this is what we have at the end of the day. So see how we use like different shapes to make a bed. All right, and then after making the bed, we add a background to it and a text. So now just make like a design, all right, using shapes. Okay, so yeah, that is it. So I want you guys to make something as a mini project. Give me something, make any design with shapes. First of all, start with shapes, then add any background of your choice and text, just like you saw us do. But don't create a bed. Just make anything. It could be a house, it could be an elephant, giraffe, anything. Just make something with shapes. All right. I'll see you guys in our next class. Bye, guys.